We are creeping up on 1 year of podcasting here at the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. We are episode 46, which means 8 weeks away. Now, I'm not a math guy, so that's 6 weeks. 6 weeks. See, I fucked that up already. 6 weeks away from podcasting for a year. So this episode and then 6 more will be at a year. Pretty fucking crazy. Pretty crazy to think about. Pretty crazy for me to try to wrap my brain around, because it seems like just yesterday I was having a conversation with Robert Lee, and he said, you know, you talk a lot about podcasts. You should do a podcast. You'd probably be pretty good at doing a podcast. And that was over a year ago. It seems like it was last night we had that conversation on the phone. Pretty fucking crazy for me. The things that have happened already in the first year, actually this kind of ties in with today's episode. The first one of the videos on the YouTube channel hit 100,000 views, and that was of Georgia World Cup event. We are going to hit 150,000 followers on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com Facebook page within days. Within days, that page will be 150,000 followers within the first year. From 0 to 150 the first year. The reach is growing. The audience is growing. We're going to be approximately somewhere between 80 and 100,000 downloads of the podcast the first year. That's not bad. That's not fucking bad.
I'm taking applications right now. I need more haters. Yo. What the fuck is going on? You amazing motherfuckers. And we are gonna try to shop back again. You want to advertise for someone? www.advertise my shit. Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. What the fuck is the week? Stop taking fucking pictures with the puppet. We're gonna be hosted by yours truly, Todd Lonely Time.
Yo, you beautiful motherfuckers. I keep saying that. I keep saying beautiful. I don't know. I don't even know if you're beautiful. The odds are most of you guys are fucking trolls. Beautiful to me either way. Episode 46 of the Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. The first and only podcast dedicated to bull breeds and the American bully lifestyle. This week, we have a returning guest, another friend of the podcast. This will be this gentleman's second appearance in the shop. Senior ABKC judge, also a UKC judge, has judged ABKC Nationals. Also, director of, hopefully I get this right, training and education with the ABKC. He's been an event host for almost a fucking decade. Welcome back, Mr. Rolando Mata.
Yo, what's up? Hey, man, and I don't mind you calling me beautiful either, man.
Listen, I seen the Rico Suave pictures from back in the day. Okay, I seen those. When the beard is cleaned up. Not a bad looking guy. Dime piece.
Nice and trim, man. So what's good, Ty Lumley, man? Always a good time. Always an honor to get back over here with you, man. Bull in the China shop. And you made me a little nervous throwing out all those numbers, bro.
Listen, the numbers
on your huge success, almost a year in it, and I'm blowing up, bro. That's awesome, man. It's amazing. Good work.
It's all bullshit. The numbers are all bullshit, bro. You know that. It's all, it looks really good, and I'm trying to downplay just because I don't know how to handle compliments. But I mean, at the same time, like the goals, you know, the goals for the most part for the year have definitely been reached. You know, we've definitely hit some milestones I didn't think we'd hit the first year already, and we still got 6 weeks to go. So I'm excited about it, you know. But you know, anytime you reach goals, it seems like new ones just appear out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Hey,
You know?
that's what it's all about, man. Continue to grow, continue to get bigger and better. So,
Yeah, and I think that's I mean that's what I hope we can do for, I mean, the whole fucking breed, because I don't think people realize how massive the movement is. The American Bully, the bull breed in general, bull breeds in general are fucking massive worldwide. And I think if we can get just a little bit of a mainstream kick, you know, whether it's through podcasting, whether it's through the YouTube channel, or whether it's, you know, whether it's through the newspapers covering the events like we've had before, the radio stations covering the events like we've had before, like that's the kind of shit that's going to help us just kind of slide a little bit into that mainstream spotlight. And once that shit happens, it's the ceiling is there is no ceiling. You know what I mean? Like the growth is going to be fucking insane. And I think people are getting discouraged now because of the amount of low quality shit that's being put out there and kind of the flooding of the market, you know? But that, I think that happens with a lot of kind of pop up popular breeds, you know? The first 20 years it kind of blows up, and then that in itself, the process itself weeds out the bullshit at the bottom, and most of those backyard breeders stop and go away, and then, you know, we carry on about our business. I feel like, you know, that's just a normal process, hopefully.
yeah, man. But I think the American Bully breed, man, it's like you said, it's blowing up, and I don't think there's any stopping it, man. I remember, just almost 10 years ago when I first became involved with the American Bully and the ABKC, you know, it wasn't really a household name. It wasn't really known. The reason I obviously knew about it, I followed it from the beginning. And, you know, being a pit bull guy, a lot of my peers, they really looked down on the American Bully, and it was almost hatred, man, because they were like, it's destroying our breed, the American pit bull. And I'm like, these people are after a totally different package. It's a totally different breed. And until we realized that, I mean, I realized it from the jump, but fortunately we've been able to take strides, and it's a separate breed now. I mean, the UKC accepts it. You know, everybody, it's now known worldwide, bro. It's huge. You know, it's funny, you know, I travel a lot. And everywhere that I wear my bully shirts, I get people, they're always looking at the shirts, or they're always captured by them, man. And I always get people to, hell, you got bullies? You mess with the dogs? So, I mean, and mind you, sometimes it's just an ABKC shirt. It's not even like a shirt with a dog on it, you know?
Right.
So they just, they recognize it, man. It's
Everywhere.
It's huge, bro.
Everywhere.
It's a true story. I just had, back in January, I had the ABKC Super Bowl #3. It was a pretty huge event, actually. We did really, really well with it. I was very proud of that one. But I brought my man Kino from Spain. He's one of our ABKC judges. And he said when he came through customs, they asked him, you know, what are you doing here? He goes, oh, I'm here for a dog show. And at customs, the agent was like, oh, are you here for the ABKC Super Bowl? And he was like, yeah, how do you know?
That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro.
But the thing is, you guys do such a good job of advertising and promoting these events. That doesn't surprise me at all in Atlanta.
Yeah, man, and we do, and I did great with that one.
Yeah, Bull-NA-ChinaShop was down there. We covered it.
So this Saturday we have another event coming up. It's our 7th year, and the ABKC Bully Independence Day number 7. And usually, man, this is a great show. We usually put a huge promotion on it. I've been a little tied up with so many things. A lot of it, you know, traveling every weekend, trying to get a new career rolling in real estate. It's been so difficult, man. I think some of my people out there just haven't even heard from me. You know, they're used to just me constantly promoting, constantly pushing the show. And I think it's been a little bit of a void. So I'm hoping to see everybody out there this weekend. We're going to have my man Ty Lumley out there covering the event, Bull-NA-ChinaShop. And I want to thank you again, man. I know it's been the most successful video that you've put out there. But honestly, you know, the World Cup, 2016 World Cup, which was last September.
Yeah, it's crazy because that was like one of the first events that I did. One of the first event videos that I did.
And you know what the cool thing about that is, man? Although it was one of the first events that you personally did with your podcast thing that you got going on, it was actually one of, and mind you, I've been doing this for a minute. I've had some of the best videographers out here, you know, covering our events. One of the best, hands down. And it was a little raw, but what I loved about it is that you got everything that I always wanted captured at my event. I mean, you got the crowd, you got the hype, you got it all, man. It wasn't just a few interviews here and there. It wasn't just a little flash of the crowd and a lot of ring footage, you know, dogs going around in a circle. I mean, from beginning to end, you captured everything from all the people that were there. The energy was live in that coverage, man, and that's priceless, you know. And you know what? The best thing is I didn't even have to pay you, dog. But no, man, much appreciated, brother. I'm telling you, you captured it just like I always wanted it. The energy was felt through your video. It was amazing work, man. And
maybe that's why it's going crazy still.
Anytime Bull-NA-ChinaShop steps into my show, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, like you said, it's definitely raw. And almost all the videos that I've put out so far have been like super raw. The production quality's not very high. Like I said, it's just me and a fucking iPad for the most part. I have done some upgrading in the past month. I will say that. The new Sony that I'm using, I can't wait to come down and cover a show because this thing's fucking incredible, man. Like, it's way over my head. I'm so much of a beginner when it comes to that kind of shit, and it's easy for even me to use. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you
brother,
being?
Whatever you're doing over there, man, whether raw or refined, keep doing what you're doing because you get it, man. And that's the thing, man. You get exactly what this movement and you know, the whole entire bull world is really about, man. You get it, you live it, you cover it.
I just want people to see, like, when I do like even the vlog videos and shit that I've been doing, they're not really a vlog. It's more like a few days mashed together. It's not really a daily thing, you know what I mean? So it's like even those videos, I'm just trying to show people like all the things that dogs have brought to me. You know what I mean? Like the atmosphere at the shows. That's why I got attracted to the shows. Like, obviously I want, if I can convey that through the videos, even, you know, even if the production quality's low, if I can convey that through the videos, that's for me, that's a win. If I could show somebody.
Quit saying that production quality is low, man. It's good. Listen, man.
No, it's just from my phone. You know, it's just from my iPhone 6 or whatever. Like, it's going to get better, but I'm just practicing. You know, I'm just teaching myself how to do this shit. And you know, a lot of people have even commented, like you've been saying, like, you know, each step, almost each kind of, you know, step that I go through, and each time I learn something, you can almost see it in the next video and shit. So it's cool to be able to show people your progression too, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You know what, man? I'm excited to see what you'll have in store for all of us in the future, man. Because it's good shit, brother.
Well, I just got set up with the Sony.
You, man.
Just got set up with the Sony A6300. I love it. I love the camera. I also just upgraded to a MacBook Pro, so editing and stuff is upgraded a little bit also, and it'll be easier for me to keep track of files and shit like that. Because, dude, coming back from Amsterdam, I had I can't even tell you how much footage I had coming back from the Holland trip that I took, and trying to switch it over and move it from one place to the other. Somehow the shit got deleted, and I thought I lost everything, but I still was able to recover about half of it and put out a little bit of a video anyway, you know. But yeah, I can't wait to come down organized and clear-headed and not thinking about judging, because you go through this too. Like when you judge, when you're the judge for a weekend, your brain's almost in a different place than it is normally when you're just attending a show.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually just went to the back to the Bullies and the Virginia show a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
I wasn't judging, just went out there to enjoy it. I did get out there a little late, man, but it almost felt weird, almost felt unnatural, damn, I'm not judging today, you know. And but it was a great feeling, because it really gives us an opportunity to speak to the community, because, you know, I mean, we're out here in this community, we've been out here for years. Obviously, we make friends, we make acquaintances, and a lot of times when we're the judge, we're in the building, but we can't really communicate with them as well as we'd like to. You know, you can't just go and kick it with somebody and, you know, laugh and mess around, because we're the judge, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, it was great to have the opportunity to do that, and you know, just be part of the atmosphere, man. And that is, I know that you just mentioned it, that the Bully shows that atmosphere. That's what captured you. That's what has you in here living it. This is like a life. And, you know, it did the same for me. Back in 2007, my first Bully show that I went to, it was a huge, damn, I don't even remember the name of the magazine now. It's been so long. No, but yeah, it's a big Atomic Dog event, man, in North Carolina. And
I'm still waiting for my Atomic Dog issue from the last Blue Line that was put out. I'm not sure who's running Atomic Dog down there, but pretty sure that was put out 2 years ago. Still waiting on that, guys. So Herb, hit me up. You know what I mean? Let me know. I'm playing around.
I don't know if it's happening, but man, back then it was happening. It was a movement. Everything was fresh. It was
I think that was one of the reasons why it blew up so big.
The energy in the building, bro, it was electrifying, and that's why I'm here. That was the day. That's why I'm here, you know. And obviously that's what we like to continue through our events and through our involvement in the community, man. So
is the Perry event
for what you do, brother?
So you mentioned the Perry event that's coming up this weekend, Bully Independence. You mentioned that's this year's the 7th year. Is that the first year? Is that the year that you guys started throwing events? I say you guys, what I mean by that is True Phase. Obviously, I'm not sure. I don't know the full history if you threw events without Chris before, or if you guys have always been partnered up. But is that the first year that you personally started throwing events? The first year of the Bully Independence?
First year, you know what? I think it was the year before that, and we started with, you know, before True Phase. I mean, we kind of were that anyways already, because we used to try to do photography and video and stuff like that at shows. But we started off with Bully Mania #1, and it was actually Chris's show, and I was just helping out. And then we just continued to roll with it, man, and we began this series of shows that we do every year. This being, you know, when I started at Bully Independence 7 years ago, it was probably one of the only shows in the month of June. You know, it was just hot back then. People didn't want to travel. Nobody really wanted to take the chance on throwing a summer show. We couldn't really come up with great venues for the most part, you know. So,
right, it's hard to find a venue that's air conditioned enough.
What's that?
It's hard to find a venue that has good enough air conditioning, you know, in June.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's why we call this the coolest, baddest. Man, I don't even remember now, but you know what it is, man.
The building is definitely one of the coolest summertime buildings that I've been in. It's definitely like a really well air-conditioned building. And, like, if you're going to have an event in the middle of June, or at the end of, especially at the end of June, creeping into July, you definitely need to have that venue that's going to be conducive to having, you know, however many 500, 1,000 people in the same building with the year that I judged at Bully Independence down there, it was 300 plus dogs in the show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, to accommodate that kind of body heat coming from the dogs and the people, the air conditioning in that building's fucking, you know, top notch. Top notch shit. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to come down and just bullshit. I'm going to be down there Friday.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you'll be down. Are you hanging out in Atlanta all Friday, or are you coming down?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the plan is. We're gonna have a little bit of. I got a couple things going on Friday afternoon, and then the evening. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is, but we'll definitely be there. If you guys are gonna do like a meet and greet Friday, we might come for that. But this is actually one of the things I have written down to ask you about. What are you doing for the pre-show and the post-show? How many shows is it this weekend? 4?
Yep. So we have 4 shows. We have senior judge Rachel Ogletree.
Friend of the podcast. Friend of the podcast. Second judge is Lori Richardson, you said?
Lori Richardson. And we have James Feltus. I always run my judges by seniority because that's the way it should be. So that's usually the order. I can't think. I'm trying to think back. I'm going to have to ask them which one became a judge first, Lori or James.
I think Feltus.
Feltus, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it'll be up to him. He's done our show before, and I remember he was the last. He was a new boy at that time. So maybe he'll step in there second this time. We'll see. So it's either going to be James Felters or Lori Richardson. They're second and third, and then the new boy on the block, Ryan McCauley. So that's the judge lineup for the weekend. This event usually brings a lot of dogs, so it's usually a pretty long day. This is one that you've participated in the past as well, and we did a seminar, remember? We always try to do some sort of, the Friday before, get the community together somehow. If we don't do a seminar for something educational, definitely get a meet and greet together,
Yeah, there was bowling a couple of times, right? You guys did bowling a couple of times.
Yeah, we've done the bowling thing. So,
do you think that's important? Do you think that the meet and greet Friday night, the Friday night?
So yeah, we usually end up at like Applebee's or something and shut down the entire left wing of Applebee's over there and bar and
Oh, listen,
So
also, we will definitely be having a couple adult beverages at the Applebee's afterwards. So,
oh
anybody that
man.
comes to the Applebee's, be prepared to have an adult beverage. Do you think it's important to have the Friday night? Because this is something my friend Len and I were talking about a couple episodes ago. Do you think it's important for a show host to have that Friday night, the pre-show get together, meet and greet? Like that used to be a huge fucking thing back in the day. I'm trying to bring it back. I brought back the stack offs at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna take credit for it because that was fucking me, all the. No, I'm just kidding. But we brought back the stack offs at the beginning of the year. I'm trying to bring back the Friday night meet and greets, or even if you guys are, if we're all going to stay in the same hotel, let's just have a fucking little booze it up in the parking lot or something. You know what I'm saying? Let's do fucking something, man.
Bro, to me, there's nothing more important because that's what these events are for, man. And Len, you and Len were. I missed that particular podcast, but you know he's back from the beginning, so that's what was important, man. It's not just the show, and that's what people get so caught up in right now. Just a competition, just getting to that show, and it's just, you know, for that one day, you're there for 2-3 shows. By the third show, you're bitching that the fourth show is taking too long. And I mean, look, man, we're there to hang, man. We're there to meet and greet the entire community.
But a lot of these show hosts aren't doing the Friday night thing, dude.
Yeah, man. And one thing too with the and
a lot. Hey, I mean,
and
honestly,
it's changed with our events as well. You know, back in the day, we used to have a 1-show event, 2-show event. Then it started, you know, progressing to 3 and now 4, and it really kills your after party,
right?
Because that was big.
That was another thing we talked about. Maybe capping it to 3 a day. You know, making the max. If you want to do, 5 or 6 in a weekend, make it a 2-day thing. You know, cap it to 3 a day.
For sure. We tried a little bit of that with at our last show, the Atlanta Bully Marathon. We did a 6-show event. It was a lot, man. But our original plan was to do a Friday night show, which we've done before. I think we had the first Friday night show.
Yeah,
I know my boy Marcus
underground
from South
shows.
Carolina would probably like to take credit for that, but we rolled it out. He took it and did it before us, like a week or 2 before. But anyways, all love, Marcus. Bully Mania was one of the first. I don't even remember what number Bully Mania, but it was one of the first Friday night shows. You were probably at it.
Fuck
remember
yeah.
We used to do the best dressed, and that was like a party night. I mean, we were there till we started at 7.
The best dressed, even that. Even just
time.
The best dressed competition, Rolando. Even that. Where are you seeing that happen right now?
Yeah, man, nobody does it, man, because...
Dude, you know how much fun that was? That was so much fun. I lost to Jerry because of his motherfucking imported Japanese suit. This motherfucker had shoes to match the plaid on his coat. I wasn't even mad that I got second. I said it before we even went up there to be judged. As soon as I saw Jerry, I said, "You motherfucker." Like, I haven't seen one person in here yet that was going to beat me. And then I just seen the shoes match the plaid on your coat. And now it's over, Jerry. Thanks, you fuck.
Yeah, that was a hard one to beat, man. That was a classic. But yeah, bro, I mean, I don't want to put show host out there, but
But listen, if we don't talk about this stuff, how's it ever going to change? If we don't start talking about this shit, if we don't actually start... I'm not saying we should be blasting people. You don't got to say any names. I'm just saying if we don't start talking about this shit that needs to come back, it's never going to come back. People aren't going to do it on their own. We've given them enough time to do it. They haven't done it.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what, man? The sad thing is, Ty, that we have, and me and Chris, we're talking about this today. We have such a huge turnover of people in the bully community that, from year to year, you see a lot of the similar faces, and then you start seeing less and less, and then more new, So the turnover is huge. So a lot of the people that are active now in the showing and attending these events, they've never had that experience.
Right.
And it's sad because that's the essence of the bully movement, bro. You know,
Right.
That's what, and that's why me personally, along with Chris and Rachel and everybody that I fuck with, we try to keep that in the community. We try to keep that in our events. You know, the pre-party on Friday used to be huge. That's the thing. You know, people rolling into town. You could feel, I mean, the energy of that show is building up, and everybody wants to be there, you know, and it's not just to come to compete in the show ring and what judge is it going to be, how many points does my dog have. It's for an experience and getting together with as a community, meeting friends that you only get to see on the weekends.
Right.
We get to hang out, we get to party, we get to shoot the shit, we get to talk dogs. You know, I mean, me and you have had, and John Sweet have had conversations till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning in a parking lot, in the cold, shivering, talking
Facts.
dogs.
That's a fact.
And, I mean, that's what it's about, bro. But, you know.
And we're not saying, I don't think you're trying to say that the show ring stuff and the competition is not important. Obviously, that's important. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's the main focus of the show. But if you're not getting that energy and that spark and that camaraderie and that, you know, especially the Friday night meet and greets, that's where a lot of people, you know, at the show scene and the show scenario itself can be a little intimidating sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes people get a little intimidated to come up and talk to you, or come up and ask for a picture, or come up and say hi. Where the Friday night meet and greet, you know, that whole facade of, you know, hype or whatever it is that's stopping people from saying hi, that's all gone. So you get people having conversations, people that nobody knows anybody. You're just talking about, you know, talking dogs, like you're saying, talking dogs, or talking about the show, or talking about shows you went to last month, or, you know what I mean? Litters you have coming up, and breedings you have coming up, and, you know, your new mail that you just brought, and that Friday night atmosphere, that kind of meet and greet setup. That's, I think, so vital for the camaraderie on Saturday. At, you know, when we're trying to take each other out and take each other's heads off in the ring, you know, now instead of the dirty looks and the shade being thrown everywhere, now you've got people laughing and joking and shaking fucking hands.
Yeah, man, that's where it's all at right there too, man. On that Friday before, it's I think it's a vital piece to this puzzle, man. And going back to saying why is it missing now, I think a lot of the show hosts that we have today, they weren't around for that, first of all, and most of them just, you know, and I don't want to say that they just think about the money, because obviously we all like to make a little bit of money.
Right, yeah, we're not saying nobody should be making money. You shouldn't do anything without at least trying to break even, have the show pay for itself, you know, at the very least.
For sure, but we can't forget what this is all about, man. I will never forget what it's all about, because I never got into this business with, you know, money on my mind. I'm not a breeder, as you know. I mean, I could be out here getting dogs and promoting them and showing them, beating up people in the ring with them, and doing it big and making a bunch of money. That's just not me. You know, what drives me in this community, I mean, in what I do, period, with dogs, it's always been a camaraderie that we have with the rest of the community, doing the things for the dog, man, and that's the key. So, you know, that's why we do the Friday night meet and greets. That's why we do the Friday night educational stuff that we've done in the past. And, you know, I don't want to get away from that. So definitely something that's going to be part of every one of our events. If I'm involved with it, it's going to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think
unfortunately, this for this particular one, I have not planned much. I did want to do a little bit of a seminar, especially you know, rolling back into my role of Director of Training and Development for the ABKC. It's not only, it's always been a duty of mine because that's why I got into it, but, you know, and now it's a real responsibility. So that's what we want to do, man, is get out here and educate the community, you know, so.
Right, and I think
it's always going to be part of my events.
We're going to see more educational seminars coming this year and next year. At the end of this year, more even next year. You know, hopefully I'll be able to be involved with, as well as a couple other of the ABKC judges. I just feel like we need to get some information out there. We need to spend a little bit of money, maybe even put on. Here's an idea I had, and I don't want to let too much out of the fucking bag because I still want to go through with the idea. But if we're gonna have, okay, say you have 4 shows a year in Atlanta, or you have 2 shows a year in Atlanta, and there's another show host. Let's say ABKC owner, Bully Supplies owner James Cooper also has 2 shows in Allentown this year. Well, let's say a third show host has 2 shows in North Carolina, which is right in the middle, basically between Atlanta and the Northeast, North Carolina. So that's the whole East Coast. So why not put together a 6-date educational seminar tour and meet and greet with a Q&A to go along with those shows? Why not set that up and advertise that from Jump Street, advertise that from the first of the year, so people can kind of plan around when they want to go to these educational seminars and you know, really make that a part of the weekend experience of going to an ABKC show. I think Rolando actually might be in the shower. It sounds like he jumped in the shower, I feel like.
I'm in, man. I'm back home.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he jumped in the shower. But no, I feel like, you know, it's just an idea. Like we attach an educational seminar meet and greet with a Q&A onto the show. We have, you know, senior judge run the educational seminar, and we do a Q&A at the meet and greet Friday night, or not do a Q&A at the seminar and just do the meet and greet where, you know, after the educational seminar, so it's like a separate thing if we have to. But I think that we could do that, attach these educational seminars to, you know, certain show hosts, like do like a little tour in that region, a West Coast region tour, a Midwest tour, a South tour, and an East Coast tour. We could put different people in different regions and have everybody sending the same message and educating in the same way off the same template. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we've done... We've kind of gotten to that, and you know, it's something that I really don't want to get away from, and it seems like we start kind of heavy on it, and then we kind of taper off. But you know, we've done.
This is something I've been trying to get going for a year at least.
Yeah, and we've done, you know, similar stuff. I know that Coop did one. Me and you did it out there.
Yep,
we didn't have as great of a turnout as we would have liked. It was sort of more formal, you know, at a little.
It was nice. I enjoyed that, actually, doing that seminar. You and I and Rachel and John did a seminar for the Bully Independence a couple years ago. I did one for Coop also. We did one in the Philippines, did one in Jamaica. I mean, we've done some seminars, but that's 4 spread out over 2 years.
Yeah, we need to definitely stay on top of it and do a lot more. But one of the things that we need to put our heads together is and really maybe push the community, man, because that's what we should do. We need to push the community to attend these things. A lot of them, man, it's not important. It seems like it's not important enough. Like the seminar that me, you, John, and Rachel did. You know, we planned that. We promoted it. We put it together. We had food. I mean, that came out of my pocket. That was not, like, I didn't charge for anybody to come in there.
Right.
So we had food for everybody, drinks. I rented out a place. We had our little video got kind of messed up a little bit, but hey, but we didn't quite get the turnout that I would have liked. You know, not what I was expecting. We did get a lot of new people there, so that was a great opportunity to reach those people. But, you know, a lot of the older ones that, you know, they could have been part of it. They could have, you know, that's when you want to step up and you want to lend your knowledge, you know, to the rest of the community. But, you know, a lot of them didn't make it. They were stuck in traffic, got off too late, whatever. You know, the thing is that if you put your mind to it, if you plan, you just have to execute it.
Right.
No excuses.
Right. And I think
it's important enough, then you're going to be there. So,
do you think that it's just something that would take a little while to grow? Do you think it would snowball? Because I personally think, yeah, maybe the first 3 or 4, you know, if we did even if we did one a month alongside a show, alongside an event that we knew was going to be big. You know, like, let's use Roger Pascal's show in the Derby City show. That's a big show every single year. Why not attach, you know, your shows, your Bully Independent shows, or like I was saying, Coop's Allentown shows. These are all big events every year. Why not attach a educational seminar to those events every single year so people know? And then maybe the first 3, 4 are, you know, people trickle in. But once it takes off, and once we start offering people some real information, and start offering people some actual insight as to what the fuck people are looking for in the ring, I think people would latch onto that. I mean, maybe it's me, maybe I'm crazy as fuck, you know, but I think people would latch onto that.
Yeah, you know what I think, you know, going through trying different things out there. I think if we make it a little too formal sounding, some people try to kind of shy away from it. We call it like a seminar and things like that, which it definitely is. But I'm not sure if you were there or not. But the first World Cup that we did it was World Cup 2015. We did it at the Georgia World Congress Center. The Georgia International Congress Center, where the 2014 Atlanta Nationals was.
Right.
No, 2015 Atlanta Nationals, because it was 2014 Nationals, and then we did World Cup in March there. So that was a huge event. We sold about 1,200 wristbands. We had about 180 booths. It was the return of the mega show, and it didn't disappoint. We had, you know, we were there till like 2 in the morning, about over 300 dogs in the ring. It was a beautiful thing. But the night before, what we did is it made it more inviting, I think. We actually set up a little seminar. It was cool because it was at this bowling alley. So we set up the seminar from like, I don't know, 7 to give it like 3 hours, you know, so people can kind of drop in, and as people came, they kind of joined in. And it was at the bowling alley where we had a bowling event, Bowling for Bullies, which is actually a charity event that Bully the Kid put together back in the Bully-Palooza days. So, you know, for every strike, he donates money and a bag of dog food or whatever to one of our local dog shelters or whatever. So it's a good cause. Man, we had tons of people out there. And the seminar was actually in the bar area. They just gave us like the whole bar area. So we had like the whole corner of the bowling alley bar right there. I mean, I was speaking, you know, having a little drink or whatnot. We had, who else was there? Rachel spoke a little bit. Errol spoke a little bit. Had Jamie Sweet there speaking. And it was cool, man, because that was like probably the biggest turnout that we had as far as a seminar. And I think it was successful because it was, sort of informal. And people felt more relaxed about coming in. I think that people have a misconception that they're going to be drilled, or it's going to be like a classroom or something, and we're going to sit there like a teacher. And that's definitely not how we roll. We just want to talk dogs.
Well,
right?
I think
how we talk dogs.
The problem with having an ABKC educational seminar is the fact that it kind of does have to be a little bit formal. Now, another idea that I had was doing Bull-NA-ChinaShop seminars and meet and greets with Q&As, and that could be informal as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? That has no affiliation with anything but me. I could have guests come in, which could be the judges of the event, for Q&As, and that still wouldn't be attached to anything. Maybe I should shut the fuck up and not put this on the air, but that's a good idea.
It sounds like a damn good idea to me.
But the thing is, all I want to do is...
Too, and you've done these seminars overseas, too, in other countries.
Right.
They want more of a formal kind of thing, like they want to know. They're more eager to learn. And it's sad to see such a divide here in the States, man, because there is a lot of new people. And, I mean, it's like the blind leading the blind out here sometimes. And I really think that, people need to put a lot more into educating themselves. Not just believing anything anybody tells them, because, everybody out here is an expert. And, again, not talking bad about any particular person, but, I mean, come on. It's we have a lot of resources out here. There is a lot of good people. There's a lot of good information out there. The American Bully is a newer breed, and there's only a few of us that have really even put out any real type of information out there about the breed. So when you do searches, you find out, you can find searches of any other breed but the American Bully. But we have to always keep in mind that a dog is a dog is a dog. And you can learn so much from just understanding regular dog anatomy and even other breeds. You can learn so much about the American Bully as long as you understand type and, form and function and all that kind of stuff. So,
right. Speaking of dogs, I believe every single dog that I own is howling right now like a pack of wolves. So, if everybody hears that, it's just a random howling session of my coyotes that live here, apparently. So, but no, I feel like the thing is, the more information we put out, the more people it's going to hit. But at the same time, we need to actually aggressively reach out and proactively reach out to people, to new people that are coming in, because like you said, a lot of people see, certain guys flashing money or certain guys flashing offers for crazy money, and they can't help but latch on to whatever dream that motherfucker sells them. They can't help it because they see all the Facebook hype and the social media facade that they put up and all the fake shit that's going on. And they can't help it. They buy into that. So we need to proactively go out and aggressively grab these motherfuckers and get some information in front of them so they can at least have the choice and make a decision. You want to have a set of principles and ethics, and you want to do things this way. Do you want to, breed dogs for color and money and Facebook fame? We'll call it social media fame. At least give them a choice. At least show them what the correct or not the correct, the ideal is, show them what the standard says and what the ideal is. At least give them an opportunity to paint that picture in their mind from reading the standard. Right now, we don't have anything going out. Like we have stuff that's reaching people that are already underneath the umbrella. We don't have anything that's going out there outside the umbrella and catching people and bringing them in droves. We don't have anything like that right now.
Yeah, we do have a few people that sit out there and really just push their idea, and you know, they've gotten a little following and whatnot. But is it really the ideal? Is it really what it's supposed to be? I don't know. You know, I honestly, I can't listen to a lot of that too much. But I'm glad that we kind of landed on this subject, because that is our number one plan, and it's something that's been in the works for years. Something that Dave Wilson and I have talked about, including yourself, other people involved. We've been trying to put this together for a long time, but it's really becoming a reality now. And I did want to take the time to give little props to Dave Wilson for making it happen. I had a long conversation with him the other day, as you know, and not many people know, but kind of been on the outs a little bit, you know, and definitely not because of problems with the ABKC or flipping to another registry and nothing like that. That's never going to happen with me. You know, it's just disappointing that things don't happen the way that I would like for them to. The things that we had planned and everything. So he's really making efforts to get it going, putting it together. And now he's pretty much put it in my hands. So
now you're talking about the stepping back into the role of Director of Training and Education. That's what you're talking about. Now, what is the plan moving forward? Like you're saying that the focus is going to be reaching out and grabbing people from that aren't under the umbrella and kind of educating in a forward thinking manner, instead of just the people that are already in the ABKC and know what we're about.
Yeah. Well, first is we're definitely going to do more in the way of training for our current judges. Criteria to become a judge is going to be tighten up a little bit more. It's going to be more difficult now, and just the procedure of becoming a judge. You're going to have to go through a seminar now. You're going to have to take other breed education. It's all in the works. We're putting it all together. It's something that's really going to come about possibly at the starting off next year, 2018, but we're going to hit the ground hard with it now, and we've already been rolling out a little bit here and there, but like I said, it's something I've been wanting for a long time, something you've been wanting, a lot of people have been wanting, the community wants it, and Dave has pretty much just said, okay, you want it, you have it, now it's like kind of my responsibility, so I'm going to need your help, dog, but we're going to do it.
Hey, listen, you already know, man. You already know. This is something like the necessity for all of our judges to be on the same page is never been higher. Like the need for that shit to happen has never been higher, because there's so many judges and there's so many shows, and you just can't, have an overseer at every fucking event, and you can't, with the new judges, you can't say they're making a wrong decision, really, because it's such a subjective fucking thing that they're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's so hard to go up to somebody that's giving an opinion and say, no, that's wrong. Well, no, sir, you asked for my opinion, you can get fucked, So it's like, it's a tough thing to do, but getting everyone on the same page, I think will help the picks get more consistent. The quality of what's being picked should go up also, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, man? The most exciting thing about it is that it's not just about the judges and our inner core. We're going to be putting information out there. We're working on illustrations. I'm going to be making some videos, possibly you as well, about the breed. And really, this is a conversations that I have often. And you know, because you talked dogs with millions of bully people before. Normally, the conversation is about bloodlines or what your dog comes off of and whatnot. Rarely do you even get into traits. Rarely do you even get into structure, movement, balance, any of those things. That's not even really talked about. And it's what we judge for. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're using to evaluate dogs. So when the community out there that's bringing these dogs in front of us to be evaluated, they don't even understand. Obviously, that's why we get a lot of the heat. And not only that, man, I think that getting everybody on the same page, not only with the judges, but the community as well.
Right. No, I agree.
We're going to have it easier as judges because maybe we'll get to a consistency. The breed will improve because people will understand it better. How many times have you spoke to somebody about the standard? And the number one thing is, did you read your standard? Most people can read it, but if you don't even understand what you're reading, how the hell are you supposed to even know?
Right.
You know, so
and let's be honest. Let's be honest. The majority of the people in this country have a hard time reading their own fucking paycheck. So we're expecting these people to sit down and read 500 words, 700 words describing an animal they don't have a picture of. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no wonder these motherfuckers are confused. They haven't been taught how to learn the right way in the first place. That's a whole different conversation about the fucking school system. But they haven't been taught how to learn the right way in the first place, or an efficient way in the first place. And two, there's no actual information being put out there to help them learn what the fuck that standard says.
Exactly, man, and that's been the biggest issue right there. There's just no information out there, you know.
And I'm not downing anybody. I'm not talking shit. I'm not saying people are stupid. I'm just saying we can't look at them like, you know, it's on them. Well, if you don't know your standard, it's on you. To a certain degree, it is. Yeah, I agree. You should if you're passionate about a breed, you should know the fucking breed standard. I agree, but to a certain extent, we haven't done anything to assist anybody that wants to learn. Because if you look at, and you know this, Rolando, you're a UKC judge, multiple breeds. You know this. If you look at 5 standards of similarly built breeds, a lot of the words in those standards are going to be the same fucking thing. A lot of that description of how the dog's built and where the shit is placed is going to be the same, because it's general canine anatomy. The things that are going to be different, the things that are setting those breeds apart, are like what you're saying, the traits, the traits that make the details, you know, of the breed.
And you know, I had a big part of rewriting the standard and making all the changes, you know, through the years, especially for, you know, I'm speaking about the American Bully. And I've gone all over the world, man, speaking about the standard of the American Bully. And one of the most common things are that I get out there is that they can read it, but they can't picture it. So what they want is pictures. They want me to tell them what is the ideal dog like. Tell me which dog, like by name, that kind of fits that standard better. And it's one of the hardest questions for me to answer. they're always, which is your favorite dog? Which one meets the standard the best? And I'm like, every dog has its thing. So it's a very difficult question for me to answer.
There are standards with visual assists, though.
People would rather see an illustration out there. So
there are standards that have them, right? I mean, the FCI Frenchie standard, the Kennel Club English Bulldog standard, they both have illustrations that come along with them. Not necessarily a specific dog, but a generic dog that was drawn, like we're doing, like you're saying, the illustrations that are going to come out for the American Bully. That's not a certain dog. That's just a generic dog that was drawn, as close to the ideal, what the standard says, as close to that as you can draw physically in a two-dimensional fucking plane, but so there, like the English Bulldog standard has even a head breakdown, a visual of a head breakdown, and where the ears are supposed to set and how low the eyes are supposed to set with I think the visuals are going to help a lot, is what I'm saying. I agree 100%. I think that's going to help a lot.
Yeah, those visuals are going to be the key, man. It's going to be a key to education in this community for this breed, and it's something that I'm very excited about, I did this at one of Kev Green's shows, several years ago out in the Midwest, and it went really well. I may actually do something similar at Bully Independence, since we don't really have anything planned for Friday night, so maybe I'll take the opportunity to do that before the show. But basically, I got out there, man, and a lot of times I get out there and speak about the standard, the breed, whatever. And, you get a few people listening here and there. But what I actually did for this one is I asked for 3 people to bring their dogs in. And I told them from the beginning, we're going to break them down. Nothing as your dog. They were cool with it. Good. We went ahead and broke them down piece by piece. The head, by the standard, piece by piece, and I was going through the head, the neck, the shoulders, how it's supposed to be built, the whole dog, the entire dog as a package. You know what I'm saying? The balance from height to back length, why it would move the way it would, why the angles need to be the way that they are, head carriage, tail carriage, everything. We went down. And I'm talking about people were like gravitating towards the ring because they had that visual. You know what I'm saying? They were actually seeing it as I'm explaining it.
Right.
It was a beautiful thing, man. Actually, it was cut a little short. I was getting, I'm long-winded, man. I could talk about dogs forever. So
it's like it's like hit or miss, though.
Definitely the way to do it, and that's the way that we're heading, and it's very exciting times for the ABKC and the breed, man. I'm really excited to be part of it. And
dude, I've got some crazy good ideas for a breed type seminar. It's like there's been a few different things that have just stuck in my head lately that I know could help people, because people are having such a hard time discerning between a terrier type head, an American Bully type head, and a Bulldog type head, or an exotic type head. Like, this is something that needs to be broke down and explained to people. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if there's a better motherfucker to do it than me. So no, but I have some good ideas just about a couple of visuals that we can put, side by side to show people, like, this is what the fucking stop is, and this is what the stop's supposed to look like. And when it's talking about a slightly squared off muzzle and low set eyes and a bridge of the muzzle that falls off abruptly under the eyes, and like these are the fact that we don't want any curvature of the underjaw or any layback to the muzzle. That right there, that little thing, a curved underjaw and a laid back muzzle, can change, like, to me, has a lot to do with the type of the dog. Since we have exotics now, and since we have old English bulldogs now, that curved underjaw and that big underbite hanging out and that fucking lay back to the muzzle, that changes the look of the, you know, that could be the difference between an American bully and a fucking oldie. Let's be honest, without a ear, with an ear crop. Let's be honest, that could be the difference. Just that little 3-inch fucking piece of the dog could be the difference between an American bully and a fucking oldie.
Man, and that is a real statement right there. You know, most of us don't realize it because half of us are too caught up into what we like to see the real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times, and I see even judges doing this all the time, but it's like you kind of gravitate to what attracts you, obviously, but you have to pull yourself away from that. It's the reality. You know, as a breeder, it may be something that you could use in your, and you know, there's different styles. There's not different types. There's different styles. So there might be a different style ahead. One may be more bulldoggy. The other one is the ideal. The other one may throw a little bit more to the terrier side. But you always want to have the knowledge to recognize the ideal. Don't say, oh, this is a badass American bully head because the muzzle's like extra short and the nose is kind of tilted back. Because when I look at it, I'm like, it's not the ideal. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
A lot more bulldoggy. But you gotta have to understand that. That's a different style. Now, it may still kind of fit in.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is the difference just because there is a little bit laid back to the muzzle. I'm not saying that will make the difference. But if it's exaggerated enough, if that curve is exaggerated and that
totally different dog.
That's a totally different dog.
Absolutely right.
And see, here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. If you're looking at the American bully ideal, okay, what the standard is calling for ideally, if you're looking at as a center line, like that's my navigation, that's my center line. Let's say terrier type dogs or terrier style, people have a problem with you saying terrier type because they don't fucking understand breed type. Terrier style dogs to the right, bulldog style dogs to the left, okay? You're always going to have variations on the left and the right of that center line. There is no ideal. There is no walking ideal. There is no perfect animal. So you're always, everything that you see in the ring as a judge is either on the left side of that ideal or the right side. And I'm speaking American bullies only because this is a pretty specific issue. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like beagles probably don't have this problem. But speaking for American bullies individually, every dog that you see in the ring is either left of that center line or right of that center line. So it either leans a little toward a bulldog or it leans a little toward a terrier, or it's within that acceptable American bully range. You know, there's on either side of that center line, there's a certain range where even though it's not ideal, you're sitting inside. That is an American bully for sure. You know what I mean? Like that dog screams American bully breed type. That's within the range. Either side of center, left or right. That's your acceptable range. If you get too far outside of that range to the left, you're looking at bulldogs. If you get too far outside that range to the right, you're looking at American Pit Bull Terriers and Amstaffs. So every dog that we're seeing in the ring right now is either left or right of that center line. So I understand that we don't want bulldogs in the ring, but you have to understand as a spectator or even as a judge coming in, that dog that leans a little toward the bulldog is no worse than the dog that leans toward the terrier. They're both just as bad. They're both just as far away from the ideal. You know what I'm saying? So like we have a problem right now where people are just jumping on these dogs that carry the bulldoggier traits and you know, really getting fired up about him being in the ring. But then we have 16 dogs that look like Amstaffs with steroid injections. You know what I'm saying? Like we have rings full of blown up Amstaffs, but as soon as we see somebody that encounters a dog that's a little bit to the left hand side or a little bit to the bulldoggy side of that ideal, everybody, you know, the sky is falling and the fucking shit has hit the fan, you know?
Yeah. Listen, dog, I'm going to have to give you some credit right now. And this is why I'm excited for this motherfucker right here to be part of my team to get this knowledge out there. You hit it right on the head, man. This is exactly the problem. And this is why this community is divided between those, like you're saying, those that flip out and then all of a sudden the whole entire registry and breed is going to shit because some dog was chosen that looked this way. And we can't also choose the other side, which does absolutely no good for the breed either, you know. And that center line thing that you were talking about, man, you hit it right on the head. It's a perfect explanation of it, because that is the line that we should walk and understand that you're going to have those little variations in style from left to right, but not to go too much one way for another. And it's something that I always say when people ask me, what do you look for? Or, you know, they throw these hypothetical, well, what if you have this and what if you have that? Listen, I'm never going to give up too much one way for another. I'm never going to sacrifice too much one way or another, but I'm definitely want to stay within those means.
Right.
But I'm also not flipping out. You know what I'm saying? Like the community, some of the community does, because they automatically think, oh no, we're going all bulldog. Man, we have to understand that line. We have to understand that sometimes it crosses over some way, crosses over the other way. That's just the means.
But here's another problem we run into. We all have a different idea of what that center line should be because there's no education on the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like we have people that had started breeding in 1995 that still think that center line is a fucking Amstaff that's bulked up. You know what I'm saying? So of course dogs that are you know, leaning toward the bulldoggy stuff for an American Bully, of course that stuff is way out of their range because their center line is way to the right. You know, like if we can get, like you're saying, if we can get these visuals and we can get these seminars rolling and we can get this training and education program rolled out, I think it's going to make a big difference because it's going to get everybody at least to where their center lines within the same fucking area. You know, I like to think of it like it's
that's the key.
Like it's a highway, Ro. All right, if you think of a highway, you're standing, not even a highway, a 2-lane road. You're standing on a 2-lane road that has shoulders. The center dotted line, you're in a passing zone. Let's say you're in a passing zone on a 2-lane highway, okay? The center dotted line, that's your center line. The white line that goes onto the shoulder, that's the range, that's your range of acceptable styles. The left line, the left white line on the other shoulder, that's the other, that's, you know, that's your caps. The shoulder itself are dogs, like the shoulder on the right side would be dogs that are straight American Pit Bull Terriers or Amstaffs, terrier type dogs that don't need to be in the ring. The shoulder on the left hand side of the road, the bulldoggy side of the road, those are bulldogs. Those are also detrimental. They don't need to be in the ring. But people need to understand that you can creep all the way up to that shoulder line without being outside the breed type.
Exactly.
And you know, with some things, other things, small little things, like I said, that exaggerated underjaw and lay back to the nose, that could change the whole type of your head, you know? It's a tricky fucking thing, man. Breed type's a tricky motherfucking thing.
For sure, especially in the American Bully breed, because it hasn't been tuned in just yet. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, it's an infant. It's a newborn. You know, don't you think? Don't you think 13 years? That's still an infant. You know, that's still a little baby breed.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And and the thing is too that in this breed it's very trendy. So we have trends that happen, and I mean we've already seen several different trends.
That's a huge point. That's a huge point right there. That's a huge point, dude. Because like, you know, if you think about it, even all the way back to day one, when Cairo and Juan Gotti came out, that was the first trend. That was the first American Bully trend right there. Those two.
Yeah.
You know, and then Little Row comes out, and then you know whoever friend King Spade on the Gotti line stuff comes out. You know, and then it's the next generation. Corrupt comes out. You know, and then that's the new trend, and then the next, you know, then Dax comes out, and then.
Yeah. And it sums it up, doesn't it, man? It sums it up. That tells the tale of this community. It's always been like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're dealing with the same community, we're dealing with the same dogs, and we're dealing with the same problems. And until we get everybody on that same page, that's going to be the same damn problem. So, again, this is why I'm even more excited to be able to, you know, do what we're going to do, follow through with our plan, and get it rolling the way that it should have been done years and years and years ago, you know. So
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. I think we can definitely move, at least take some steps in the right direction. You know, even if we take 3 steps forward and 1 step back, you know, we're going to be making forward progress. And I think that right now, that's what we need to keep doing. We need to let the executive side of things worry about growing the name of the ABKC, and we need to let the people that can educate and that should be educating, we need to get them in front of people and let them educate these people.
Yeah, definitely. You know? It definitely needs the right people too. So yeah, man, that's what I'm excited about, man. We having the opportunity to jump back into that role and really. Like I said, Dave kind of put the responsibility on me, so it's time to get it going, man. So if it fails this time, it may be my fault, man, and I'm kind of going public saying this, which kind of scares me. But hey, man, if we don't talk about it, we don't make it happen. I mean, if we don't talk about it happening, it's just not ever going to happen. So I need to keep talking about it, keep putting that responsibility not only on me, on your ass too. On all the other seniors that will be taking part of this, and on this community, because we can talk all we want to. We can put out videos, we can put out illustrations, we can send you explanations, but until each and every one of us makes that choice to educate, to seek that education, then we're making absolutely no difference. So it's not really just my responsibility, not just the responsibility of the ABKC, Dave Wilson, Ty Lumley. It is all of us, every single one of us in this community. It's time to step up, seek education, educate others the right way, not just your ideas, but what it really is. You know, the idea and the thought of, hey, the American Bully is what I make of it, as in on a personal level. It should be out the window, man. If there's a standard, what that breed should be is already written and set in stone. That's what you should be breeding for. That's what you should be understanding. That's what your program should be based on. Like I said, we've already talked about it. There's different styles. You may like that style a little bit more, but hey, come on, guys. We need to keep it between those lines. Once you start going a little bit over, go get another breed, man. Go get an exotic. They're there. And we have seen a lot of, you know, advocates for the American Bully kind of go that way too, you know. And I hate to kind of see it, but hey, that's the reality of the community that we live in, because it's a trendy community. We follow trends. Trends follow that money. And when you're thinking and breeding for trends and money, you're forgetting the real, which is that breed and that standard. We forget about the dogs, man. We don't care about them. We don't care about the health. We don't care about their function. We don't care about their ability. We don't care whether they live 10 years or 3 years, you know? We just care about chasing that money. So get back to the dogs, man. That's what this is all about. And it's the responsibility of each and every one of us. Not just us, not just the ABKC. It's we all need to step up as a community to get this breed to where it should be, man.
You know, you actually just reminded me of something, bro. So when I started doing this shit, when I quote unquote wanted to be a dog breeder, okay? The first UKC, the first dog I bought that had legitimate paperwork, UKC paperwork, turns 10 years old this year. That sucker was just yesterday running around with about 15 puppies playing in my backyard. You know what I mean? Like, 10 years shouldn't be a mythical thing. Like, a 10-year-old dog shouldn't be a mythical fucking creature, you know? And I say that with a little bit of grain of salt, because in order to get the amount of mass on some of these animals that we want, that we're going to sacrifice a little bit of their lifespan. All large breed dogs have a limited lifespan. And these aren't large breed as far as height, but they're up in the large breed weights, some of them, you know, 75, 85, 95 pounds, 100 pounds. You know, even though they're not as tall as some of these large breeds, we can't expect them to live 18, 20 years, because that's just not reality. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, just the mass and muscle and the actual weight on the dog's body, it's going to limit their lifespan a little bit, but it shouldn't be a 5-year limit. You know, it shouldn't be a 4-year limit, you know? I'm not saying it should limit it like that, but a 10-year-old American bully shouldn't be a mythical creature. Shouldn't be a unicorn.
No, absolutely not. And we used to see that back in the day. Remember, all of them reached 10 years. Now, people say, oh, he's 4, he's old. No, the hell he ain't. That's the prime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we need to stop thinking of our breed that way. It's pretty sad. And you mentioned size, but what's sad is that now we have a 12, 13-inch dog that weighs, I don't know, 35, 40 pounds. Yeah, it's thick. Yeah, it's bully. But what does it last? 2, 3, 4 years? Man, that is sad. No breed of dog should ever be that way. You know? I mean, these dogs are our pets. Who the hell wants to love a dog for 2 years, 3 years and die? Especially the amount of money that some people pay for these dogs, you know? It's crazy, man.
Right. I agree 1,000%. I'm actually super happy that I'm about to have a 10-year-old dog. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that I'm proud of. I hope that the dogs that retire here, obviously as a breeder, I don't get to keep everything until they die that I breed, but the dogs that retire here, you know, hopefully I can get 10 years out of every single one of them. You know, I mean, that's the goal, 10 years or more out of everybody. So no matter how bully, quote unquote bully, I hate saying that word, but no matter how massive or how overdone I kind of like my stuff, I still want healthy dogs. I still want dogs that'll be here 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I've been out to your yard, man, and it gets hot out there in Kansas sometimes.
Ooh, it's been 90s for 2 weeks out here already, bro.
and it gets cold as shit.
Yeah, it does.
Your dogs run. Your dogs do things. They don't just die at the sight of the sun. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking blows my mind that that these dogs. I mean, they go out. I've seen dogs die in 60-degree weather. Oh, it's a heat stroke. How the hell is it a heat stroke? It's 60 degrees out here. The dog should be like happy, running around like shit. This is great weather.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
You know what's crazy is I think a lot of these dogs that are dying like that it's more anxiety from not being socialized and not being introduced to those kind of situations and environments. I don't think it has anything to do with the weather a lot of times.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. I've been saying that for years. But you know, everybody has to blame something. Not their own neglect for not taking the damn dog out since it was a puppy.
Right.
And the dog not being used to even stepping out of a yard. You know?
You know what's crazy about that, though? I just shot a little, like, practice video I made, like, 2 days ago. It's up on the Bull-NA-ChinaShop TV YouTube channel. But it's just a Sunday fun day, and it was 85 degrees, 88 degrees all day. And you know, in the evening we had the entire yard out here together running around for probably 35 minutes or so. I took some footage, and then we did some individual shots and stuff. It was warm all day, and we were still kind of. I collected Maestro yesterday. It was. I think it was 89 degrees. I collected Maestro to ship semen out. Like, these are things that you should be able to do with your fucking dogs. You know what I'm saying?
It don't get much bullier than that. You know what I'm saying?
It does not get much bullier than Maestro. And if that dog can go outside and collect, and run around, sniff a bitch, get his dick hard, collect in a bag, and lay down and be fine and recover and survive, there's no excuse. If a dog that bully can do it, there's no excuse. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I could even do that anymore.
Oh,
I mean,
bro.
85, 90 degrees.
No
I don't
way.
even know if I can get it up.
It's no way. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about, why is there no AC? Where is the AC? How do I get access to AC? Why am I not in the AC? Like, that's what I'm not thinking about, sex or my dick at all when it's that hot.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
have you been judging any for the? What were you saying?
Really commend you for what you're doing out there, man, with the dogs, because you know it definitely showing that. Don't have that excuse of, oh, the dog is just too bully, it's just gonna die. No, man. I mean, it's got everything to do with how you've raised that dog, how you the exercise, how you condition it, what you feed it. It has so much to do, but at the end of the day, that's in your hands. You're controlling that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even the dog's choice. You're controlling that.
Yeah, you're controlling almost every aspect. It's like you control basically everything, every aspect of your dog's life, especially if they're a kennel dog. You know what I mean? Especially if they're a kennel dog, because you have, you know, certain times when they go out to exercise, they eat at the same time. Most of the time, they eat at the same time every day. Like, you know, you control pretty much every aspect, and it's easy to manipulate things. It's easy, like, if you need to pull 5 pounds off your dog because he's too heavy for summer, that's easy to do. That's an easy thing to do, especially when the dogs aren't you know, in the house eating table scraps and shit. Just take a quarter cup off his meal every day for a month, and he'll be trimmed down. You won't even have to make him uncomfortable. It just drives me crazy, man. It drives me crazy.
Man, it drives me too, man. I always say this, man. When you're a breeder, it's almost like you're playing God to your breed. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, every little detail of that dog's life, every aspect of that dog's life is in your hands.
Yep.
What you feed, where you keep it, how you know, how much exercise it gets, how much activity, how much it sits in a damn crate, whether it's clean, whether it sits in its own shit, what you breed it to. You know what I'm saying? All of that, we're controlling. You're playing God. It's a big responsibility, man. And if you're not prepared for that responsibility, step the hell out. Leave it to those that are, you know? Because at the end of the day, you're ruining the breed. You're killing your dogs off. Yeah, and it's not a good thing, man. Nobody wants that type of God, man. You know, it's a huge responsibility that each and every one of us have to take. You know,
the backyard breeders are bad for sure. Like the guys that have their have you seen that video that's rolling around social media right now? I can't even remember who the fuck they are. I wouldn't say their name anyway, but there's a video rolling around right now on Facebook that it shows a garage full of dogs and puppies, adults and puppies and pregnant dogs, and it's just filth, man. It's filth from, like, every dog's in a crate, every dog's standing in piss, every dog's got shit in the crate, every dog, like, it's disgusting. Like, those people are bad for the breeds. But also the fur moms that think they want to be breeders, that can't make the decisions necessary to be a breeder. They're just as detrimental to the breed.
Yeah, man. I just had this conversation with one of my nephews, his girlfriend, this past weekend, and what we tend to do is, like you said, the fur moms, they humanize dogs.
Right.
To me, if you love an animal, you love that dog, you have to respect it as a dog. Dogs require different things than humans do. You can't treat it like a human. You can't humanize that dog. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect it for what it is. Like, and the reason it came up in the topic of it being a pack animal, she had the dog trained, it could do some tricks. But I noticed this dog doesn't really see her as an alpha. You know what I'm saying? So she says that the dog has some aggression problems with certain people, and it's just that he's being protective. No. The dog is confused because you're not treating it like a dog. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're a pack animal. They want to be put in their place. They're either the alpha or they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And if you don't tell them who the alpha is, they will figure it out. Or they will try to figure it out.
Dude, so we tend to do that, man, and humanize dogs. My ex-wife used to do it all the time. And that's why I used to kick her butt in the show ring. My dog was always better. I mean, it's just as bad, man. It is a bit of neglect as well. As much as you think that you're doing that dog some good and that you're loving it and you're giving it the best life possible, it may not always be the right thing because it's not what that dog requires. Now, if you love that animal, you should respect it as an animal. And
right.
There's no other way to look at it.
Yeah, there's nothing humane about a neurotic, nervous, dog. You know what I mean? There's nothing unbalanced. There's nothing humane about an unbalanced, nervous, anxious, neurotic dog. That's cruel shit. That dog lives in a state of panic all the time. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. Let's change the subject. Have you been judging for the UKC any?
Not really, not much, man. Now that the American Bully has actually become a sort of popular breed, you know, they get a few UKC shows. They don't get very many dogs of any one breed anymore. And I don't judge American Bullies for the UKC, so a lot of times I've turned down some assignments just because of that, you know. I mean, if they usually have American Bullies on the lineup, they want to bring in a judge that could do them all, obviously. So, but not only that, I really don't have time, man. ABKC's been where I'm at. I have a big role here, a lot of responsibility, and I've been out, man, this year, since we have judges that slack and they're doing podcasts and being they just go judge overseas and they're superstars and shit.
Fucking
they leave
worthless.
me out here to grind every weekend. So yeah, I haven't had much time, but I do like to judge UKC here and there because it takes me out of my element. You get so used to just judging American bullies and the few bully breeds that we do judge here in the ABKC, and once you get out there, it's like a whole different ball game. You see so many different dogs that you're not used to putting hands on, and it's always a great experience. So I definitely like to do it, but I don't do it too often now.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've been thinking about, but here's the problem. I have like a deep-seated hatred for the UKC, so I don't think that's going to work. I would like to maybe expand my horizons a little bit as far as judging, like a couple other breeds, maybe some breed clubs, smaller stuff, you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I'm obsessed with the video shit and the picture shit and the podcast shit. Like, I am obsessed with this shit, and I do miss judging once in a while, but I've got like every 2 months I think I've judged this year so far, so it's been like perfect. Like, I can be obsessed as fuck for 2 months, and then I get a little judging, like a little, hey, remember us, we're dogs, and then I get like 2 months where I can dig back in and teach myself something else, and then I get a nice little break, and hey, here's some dogs. So it's really nice. And a lot of the events in between where I'm judging, a lot of the times I'm at dog shows anyway. So it's, I don't know, it's my whole life. I love it so much, but at the same time, there's so many things that I see that we just need to improve on and keep making better. And that's my problem right now with the video and the pictures, is like I've been getting some really good stuff lately, but at the same time, there's so much that I see that I want to improve. So it's just like a never-ending process with everything, If you want to be the best, it's a never-ending thing.
Well, I'm glad that I heard it from your mouth that you miss judging a little bit. I know that you've been just, taking your assignments out of the country, but
well, it's a little bit of a conflict for me, bro.
Like country of Georgia out here, and you're gonna judge a show for me because it's been too long.
2018, I will be glad to.
Man, come on.
No, honestly, it's a little bit of a weird thing for me because with the podcast, like with as open as I am and as open as the show's been, I just don't want to create any conflicts with judges or with people or dogs that I might judge if I judge a show in the United States. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm still trying to find a middle ground between keeping everything 100% as raw and real as possible, but at the same time not running into a bunch of drama because of a dog that I picked. This guy's cousin's nephew's sister was on your podcast and you just picked his dog, so that's politics, man. You got paid off for sure. It's like I'm trying to find the middle ground of where I'm comfortable doing both,
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm going to use a little quote from earlier on when we first started. Being quiet about it, man. If you don't talk about it, you don't do it, how the fuck are we going to fix the problem?
Yeah, that's true.
I think I heard you say that to me earlier, so...
No, and that's 100% true, because a lot of this shit, a lot of the people that are screaming politics and shit, like, a lot of that shit is just unbacked rumors and fucking accusations that have no basis behind them whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really ugly out there, man, and it doesn't get any better. I totally understand where you're coming from, and it goes back to saying, you know, like I said earlier, it felt almost funny to be at a show where I wasn't judging because you could really be more loose. But then, you know, who's to say the next time I'm judging, they're gonna, oh, I saw them hanging out at Back to the Bullies too.
Yeah.
No wonder they won.
You were at the bar the same time that his sister was at the bar. You guys were getting drinks at the same time. You clearly took a payment from her to give her that ribbon. I watched the whole thing go down.
Yeah. Bro,
it's crazy.
Tiring,
this shit's crazy.
Know what, man? It is what it is in this community for now, but we can't let that take us away from it because, you know, at the end of the day, we have to stand for what's right. You go out there and you do your job as a judge, and I have always had full trust in you and most of our judges out there. Almost, you know, a lot of the judges get a bad rap. People talk shit, but it's not even like that, like not even remotely. But we can't let that shake us, man. And I look forward to you getting back in there and continuing to do the podcast and continuing to keep it raw, continuing to keep it real, because that's what this community needs, man. Reality, real people, real information, real shit, you know? And it doesn't matter what they say. It's never mattered to me. It never crosses my mind anytime I step back into the show ring. I've had people that wanted to kill me at shows. And the next time, hey, they step in my ring, they're judged, their dog is judged the same exact way.
Right, 100%.
They believe it or not, I don't really give a damn. Because at the end of the day, I look in that mirror and I know that every time I've stepped into that show ring, I have done the right thing with my knowledge, with my interpretation of the standard, with what I know about dogs, my experience, and put everything together into what I'm doing out there in the ring. And all my choices, whether you believe that they're right or not, whether the next guy likes them or not, whether they talk shit about it, it doesn't matter. It came down to that every single time, you know? And as long as I can live with that, I don't really care what people say. So don't let that discourage you, man. I need you out here because you're going to be part of this movement that we're rolling with, and I'm going to need you out in the ring, man, doing your thing. So, and on the podcast, and on the videos. So,
I honestly, I can only think of, I mean, I really can't even, I have no argument, you know, if we don't do it, if we don't talk about, you know, here's the thing, even if someone did make some sort of accusation or rumor or whatever, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, I can't even tell you know how many memes that have been made about me. I mean, they just motherfuckers like to jump on my shoulders and try to ride their way into a little bit of limelight. I mean, that seems to happen a lot. So it's not really like I'm worried about that. It's just I don't want to create any conflicts, you know what I mean? So it's like conflicts of interest. Like I don't want to have the show create a conflict to where I'm judging, to where I feel like some sort of way because of it. So once I figure out that middle ground, I'll definitely be back in the ring. I mean, I'm sure 2018 is going to be even busier than 2017. So I can't even believe, shut the fuck up. I'm not talking about 2018 already. I'm not doing that. It's too far away. It's only June, bro. We're only in June. I'm not talking about next year already. But
only 6 months away, man.
Okay, so one last time, run down the Perry event for them. Give them a website where they can check out True Phase and Rolando Mata and all the things you got going on. Plug away. Whatever you want to plug. Plug it up.
The plug. Well, y'all already know, man. 7th year in a row. Taking it back to Perry, Georgia. ABKC Bully Independence Day number 7. You know what I love about this show, man? It's a show that what we aimed from the beginning, and we've been able to keep it true to that, it's professional, yet we still have the bully flavor that we all love at our bully events. So it's been a show that's geared for everybody. It's always been one of the favorites for everybody that attends, and that's why through the years people have come back to it. Last year we had Ty Lumley was there. We had almost 300 dogs in the building. Building was pretty packed. We do it in a huge 40,000 square foot building.
That was only a year ago? That was only 1 year ago that I judged the Bully Independence?
Yep. You, Robert Lee, Rachel,
and John.
And I believe John.
Yeah. Holy, I would have bet you money that was 2 years ago.
You might be getting confused. We had another show in Perry that I do in January, the Super Bowl. You judged the first one of those, too. And
oh, great. That's what I right. Earlier when you were talking about that, I was like, I think I fucking remember that. But anyway, so is there a website for True Phase events?
Yep. That's it right there, www.truephaseevents.com. And right from the first one, you can see all the events that we have coming up. Click on each one of them, takes you to their individual page. We're always on Facebook. We're always pushing our events. So
is it True Phase Events on Facebook also?
No, actually we don't. I do have it, but I don't really do it as much as I should. I have the event page built, not event page, but the page built for it, but never really push it through that. You know, I'm doing the real estate thing, so I got a real estate page. My page just gets to be a little too much.
Oh, so, I already know. I already know.
Yeah. So we always have our event page is always set up just whatever the event name is. So
right. So just go to truephaseevents.com and you can see all the upcoming events you guys are throwing.
Yeah. On our website, you can see all the events. As far as Facebook, ABKC Bully Independence Day 7, put it in the search, and you'll find it. So,
or just go to Rolando Mata, M-A-T-A, on Facebook. There's links all over his shit. His profile picture is the banner of the show. So if you have any questions about the 7th annual Bully Independence, June 24th, which is this Saturday in Perry, Georgia, just hit Rolando Mata, M-A-T-A. Well, listen, sir, I got to run some advertisements, and then I'm going to get off of here, and I'm probably actually going to go straight to bed because it's almost midnight while we're recording this. But I appreciate it. I appreciate every time you sit down with us and kick the knowledge, man. I just appreciate the fact that we have somebody that's passionate about taking shit in the right direction, actually steering the ship, so to say, so to speak. So I just appreciate you coming on and sharing that shit with us. And I'll see you Friday. I'll be in Georgia Friday with your ass.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure to be on here, man. Mad respect for you for what you do. My brother Ty Lumley, Bull-NA-ChinaShop. That is actually my favorite part of this event. You're coming down to cover it, man. We're gonna have the stack stage for you.
Well, so, I'm not even bringing Maestro down. I'm just coming by myself this time. But we're definitely gonna get a bunch of videos and try to hype up the stack stage as much as we can, just to try to get some dogs up there and see what we got in the building. I know there's gonna be some heavy hitters down there. There's always big names, celebrity dogs in the building, so I'm looking forward to that for sure.
There it is, man. Looking forward to seeing you do your thing.
All right, homie. I appreciate you, sir. I'll see you Friday.
Much love, my brother.
All right. Okay. Another killer episode with Mr. Rolando Mata. I mean, the conversations, the breed type talk right there. That's the shit that we do when we're by ourselves. Like he said, like he alluded to earlier, there's been multiple times where we just find ourselves standing in a circle in a parking lot at 4 in the morning going, why are we still out here? Why are we still talking dogs? Why are we still arguing with each other about dogs? Or who knows what the fuck we're talking about. Anyway, as always. Oh, also the Perry event this weekend. 7th annual Bully Independence in Perry. If we haven't said that enough, I'm going to say it one more time. June 24th, Perry, Georgia. Bully Independence 7. You can find Bull-Na-China Shop at the Bully Embassy booth. Stop by. We're going to be taking videos. We're going to be taking pictures. We're doing photo shoots. Probably going to do a podcast right in the middle of the fucking show because I'm crazy. Stop by the Bully Embassy booth. Say hi. Get your picture taken. Chop it up. Maybe say something on the podcast. If you've got dogs you want pictures taken of, you want videos done, let me know. I'll be there. Bully Embassy booth. As always, the Bull-Na-China Shop podcast is brought to you by Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com. If you want to see any and all episode, or see, we don't do video yet. It's just all audio. If you want to listen to any and all episodes of the Bull-Na-China Shop podcast, go to the Bull-NA-ChinaShop.com blog page. The newest episode will be at the top. Scroll down for older episodes. The farther you scroll down, the farther it'll go back, all the way to number 1. If you want to take some time to watch some videos, all the videos from the Bull-Na-China Shop TV YouTube channel are on the home page. Check that out. For anything and everything bull breed, for all episodes of the Bull-Na-China Shop podcast, check out www.Bull-Na-ChinaShop.com. We're also brought to you by the Bully Embassy. The Bully Embassy is an elite group of breeders, owners, trainers, and judges, handlers also from around the world. We are one of the most sought after groups in the bull breed community. You can find us at your next event. Just look for the huge Bully Embassy tent. You can find us on Facebook at The Bully Embassy, or just check out thebullyembassy.com. We're also brought to you, this episode is also brought to you by True Phase Events. TruePhaseEvents.com. I think that's it. You know all about the True Phase. Rolando kind of did the advertisement for me. If you guys want to see any or everything Bull-Na-China Shop, you hit us up on YouTube, Bull-Na-ChinaShop TV on YouTube. Hit us up on the website, Bull-Na-ChinaShop.com. Hit us up on social media, Bull-Na-ChinaShop.com on Facebook, Ty Lumley on Facebook, Bull-Na-China Shop Podcast on Instagram, Ty Lumley on Instagram, Bull-Na-China Shop Snapchat, Bull-China Shop Ty on Twitter. Check us out, man. If you can't find us, go to Google. Type the shit in. Bull-Na-China Shop. Promise it'll come up. Promise. Something will come up. Might not say Ty Lumley, but something Bull-Na-China Shop will come up. Okay, you fucks. That's it. I got one more thing for you. I love your faces. Episode 46 in the books. I can't believe we're creeping up on a year, man. Episode 52, I might cry. You motherfuckers might hear me cry on the fucking microphone. I could just edit it out. I could just hit pause. You won't even hear it. You won't even know. Wouldn't do that to you, though. I keep it real 100%. The year thing is kind of tripping me out. Super surreal, man. I appreciate all the support. I love your fucking faces. Episode 46, Bull-NA-ChinaShop podcast. See you next week.
Maxed